Good morning. I'm Danielle, and this is day 6 of my 100-day video blogging challenge. Thank you for being here. I am going to talk today about the theme or topic or practice of building walls and putting up walls, because it's been really something that I'm conscious of in my own behaviors, and I know it's something I've been doing since I'm a kid. So everybody does it in their own way, shape, or form. It depends on how high and how thick the walls are that you build. So oftentimes when people feel hurt or threatened, as a defense mechanism, they'll create a wall. So as a young child, if I felt like I was being criticized or put down or made fun of or harshly spoken to, I would retreat and create a wall around my heart to protect myself and to shut out that negative factor that was coming at me. So when that keeps happening over and over, it becomes your conditioning. So the way that you deal with those types of scenarios, whether they're real or perceived, is you withdraw and you shut down and you add another layer to the wall or another brick to the wall. And if you don't remember to take that down, because it's fight or flight, your body goes into a state or your mind or your psyche, the amygdala, the lizard brain, goes into fight or flight. So if you can't flee, you protect. And from a very, very young age, I would just build walls so thick that it became impenetrable. And my conditioning, as a safety precaution from being bombarded with criticism, turned to being very cold and defensive, so that before you can hurt me, I'm going to hurt you. So even though I have a very sensitive heart, my conditioning became very, it's like a shield of armor, very guarded and protective and stern and sharp. Because if I felt a threat, I was prepared for battle before the other person even knew that there was a battle going on. And throughout my life, I know that people have said, like, "Ooh, you're so like you're very sensitive, or you're very defensive," or I'm just giving some feedback. I'm not attacking you, but conditioning is a really hard thing to recognize and to correct, because these are habits and behaviors that were formed ever since I was a young child. Because in those circumstances, there was a need to protect myself. So that was an appropriate mechanism for that scenario. However, fast forward to me being a grown-up now, and those behaviors are no longer necessary because there is no threat of that manner that exists. So if I continue to carry those behaviors of putting up a wall that's impenetrable, and that I'm gonna be on the defensive, that I'm gonna hurt you before you even have a chance to hurt me, well, that's gonna permeate all of my relationships in life. That's gonna permeate how I respond to feedback with an employer. That's going to apply to how I interact with my peers. That may apply to something that my children say if they trigger me, because it's that knee-jerk reaction. And then it's so simple to see how patterns can repeat themselves. You know, people say, like, "Oh, well, if they come from an abusive family, why do those patterns of abuse continue?" Well, it's conditioning. So if there's constantly patterns of those dynamics and that's all that you know, that's how you continue to operate, unless you consciously recognize it and take great efforts and utilize healing modalities, including therapy, including journaling, including meditation, including learning other techniques like life coaching techniques to undo those years of conditioning that you were raised in and to learn a different way. And that's what transformation is. So you start out learning something new and you're excited about it because you're like, I'm going to make a new habit. I'm going to break these patterns. But then it starts becoming uncomfortable because you revert back to what you know, even if it's unhealthy. So like building walls and allowing people in after you've been hurt for so long, it's a hard thing. That's why a lot of people say like, oh, it's just easier to be alone. Or I don't need them anyway. I don't need them in my life. But actually, as humans, we do crave interaction. We do need interaction with other people, and we do want that connection, and we want the ability to be vulnerable, because those are the most beautiful moments when you can let down your walls and let somebody truly see you. But there's an enormous amount of trust. So I've been snappish lately. And I think it's just because I've been scared from certain behaviors of not wanting to get hurt again. I think everybody can relate. But I'm acknowledging it. If I've snapped at you, I'm sorry. It won't be the last time because I'm human. I'm a work in progress. But that's the beautiful thing about growth, right? Talking about things, learning from them, improving upon them, recognizing them, and knowing that I don't have to keep doing that. I don't have to behave that way. I'm going to decide if I share this one or not. I might not. But I might, because if somebody can relate, and if it helps somebody else to know, maybe give a little insight as to why. I know why. I know why I do the things I do. Because I was conditioned all of my life to put up massive walls, to not let people in, because I didn't want to get hurt. So I would mask my sensitive heart with armor, and then I would go on the attack. And then people would say, whoa, she's really tough. She's really, the Queen of Swords. I'll cut you. But I don't like that. And it's hard to let down your defenses. But it's important too. And you can find the people that you can trust as you discern who's trustworthy, and take the risk on trusting again, and slowly opening up and being vulnerable, and hopefully the people that you entrust are going to honor and respect that. And those old behaviors of being defensive and being harsh or being critical or jumping down somebody's throat before they have a chance to jump down mine or to hurt me. I don't know. I can't imagine I'm the only one who does it, because I've witnessed other people do it. It's just a question of whether they're going to admit it or not. I don't even know if this makes sense, but like I said, I'll watch it again. Maybe I'll share it. Maybe I'll do a different video. As for me personally, I've been doing a lot of work to break down a lot of walls. I have a lifetime of really, really thick, high walls that I don't want to keep people out. So I'm going to keep doing my work. And I hope this helps you, even if you're just starting out. The conditions that kept you safe in the past don't have to carry into your future, because if that behavior or that threat is no longer there, the defense no longer needs to be there. So I've eliminated those threats. I don't have those threats in my life anymore. So now I have to be extra sensitive to the triggers of my conditioning. So I hope this helps somebody else. I'm sorry for getting upset. Obviously, it's a trigger point and a sore spot. So thanks for listening. Bye.